What's up, 4th and 5th graders? Time for Stuff with Nick. So why would I be showing you a video of my dog? Good question. It's because I have a story about a dog my family had that made me cry. When I was in middle school, my family had a dog named Oscar. Now, Oscar was wild. He listened to no commands. It was virtually impossible to train him. And for my family, it was just too much. So my mom decided it was best to give him to one of her friends' families. And so the day came where we had to say goodbye to Oscar, and there were tears streaming down my face. Now, before you make fun of me, you gotta realize I love dogs. Cats, not so much. But dogs are the best. And it was so sad for me to see our own dog go and live with someone else. Now, there's been other things that have happened in my life that are really sad too, or pretty painful, or sometimes that I physically got hurt. And there's probably times in your life too where you have been really sad or super mad, or you've just been really hurt by someone at school, one of your friends, or maybe even someone in your family. And today we're going to talk about a passage of scripture in the book of Revelation, where Jesus promises that he's going to make all things new, and he's going to bring us into a world where there is no more pain or suffering. But first, there's some stuff that we have to know about the book of Revelation. So Revelation is a book, yes, in the Bible, and it is the very last book, and it belongs to a section of scripture that's called apocalyptic literature. Now, when you hear the word apocalyptic, you think apocalypse. And there's a lot of scary things we could think about when we say the apocalypse. Maybe like, I don't know, the end of the world. But is that really what it means? I don't think so. Apocalypse actually means to uncover or reveal something. Now, that's interesting because the book of Revelation is one long vision had by a guy named John, and it's a vision given to him by God to get a heavenly perspective on earthly situations. So the book of Revelation gives us a heavenly perspective on earthly things. And where we're going to turn today is at the end of the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verses 3 through 5. Here we go. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, "Now the dwelling of God is with men, and he will live with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away." He who is seated on the throne said, "I am making everything new." So John sees this vision. God pulls the curtain back on John's eyes so he can see earthly circumstances from a heavenly perspective. He can see the pain and the tears and the crying and see it from a heavenly perspective. That one day, Jesus promises that there will be no more of any of that because he is making all things new. Now, like I said a minute ago, a lot of you have been through hard things. You've had things happen that have made you cry. You've had mean things said to you or done to you. You have had things happen in your family that made you really sad or mad. But here's the good news. We can trust what we can't see because of what we can see. So what we can't see is this new world that God is making all things new, right? We still live in a world of earthly circumstances, pain and tears and suffering, but God is promising that even though we can't see it, we can put our hope in what we can see, which is his word, which is Jesus dying on the cross and being resurrected and being the start of this new creation. He is the start of making all things new because he went from death to life, and he promises the exact same thing for us. So there's things that all of us go through that are hard, but in the middle of those, we can know that even though we can't see some things, we can believe that they're true because of what we can see. Thank you guys for joining me for 4th and 5th grade Stuff with Nick. It's been a blast as always. Comment below, tell your friends to like and subscribe. We'll see you next week.